What's up everybody, I'm Adrian and you're watching Drive to Thrive. In today's video, I want to take a look at Peloton, see how the stock's been responding here over the last few months, take a look at the latest earnings and see if possibly this is a great opportunity to buy in or if we'll head lower from these prices. So buckle up and let's get started. Alright, so starting off here on our daily chart of Peloton, we can see that we kind of hit our peak back in January 11th, January 15th here at about that $169. And ever since then, we kind of started heading lower and staying within this range of about $100 and let's say $26 to about $100 with a brief breakdown here back in May. Now, as of today, we are back at this $100 support, which if we look back has been acting as a pretty strong support here. So November 17th, we had a nice bounce here. Back in March, we had a couple of bounces here. Then, like I said, we broke down periodically in May. And then again, we are at these levels as of today. So what do I think? Would I be buying here or would I be waiting? So as you will see, with a lot of negative headlines and lots of lawsuits out there with Peloton, I think I would be holding off for now and waiting for a little bit better price target, which I think is going to be around this $80. So what I'll be kind of looking for in the next couple of weeks here is possibly a run up back to about $108, hit the bottom of this 200-day moving average, use it as resistance, and then start selling off. But also, it wouldn't be crazy to see Peloton open up on Tuesday with another red candle, and then we just kind of keep trending down until eventually we end up hitting this $80 level. Now, if we do get down here, then what I'll be waiting for is kind of having that two-try rule. So you'll get a bounce up most likely on the first one, and then we'll come back again. Now, you want to wait for the second one, because if there is lots of weakness on Peloton and still lots of negativity, then possibly we could be breaking this down and then heading even lower. So this is why I'd be waiting for that second try here. Now, going over to our MACD and our stochastic on Peloton, you will see that this bearish momentum is being confirmed. So on our daily, we are below the zero line, which is a bearish momentum confirmed. Also, as you can tell, if I zoom in a little bit, we tried to have a crossover here but never happened, so that's another bearish sign. Our stochastic, however, is in that oversold territory, so this would kind of feed the thesis that maybe for next week or so we kind of get this bounce up higher, the 200-day moving average comes over combined with this resistance at 108, and then we get that second sell-off. So we'll see what happens. Now, going over to our weekly, I think this is where we see, or at least to me it seems the most obvious, that this is going to be heading lower, and this is why I highlight this $80 price target. So if I zoom in, if I take a look at this MACD, and this is the weekly one, this is the longer kind of a 1 month, 2 month duration, but you can see that we had this crossover back to this downside, had a rejection here at the zero line, and now we are picking up momentum and heading lower. So this is why I think Peloton is definitely heading for that $80 price target here, and possibly even lower if the news don't get any better. And you'll see what I mean with the news. So I found this article here on August 31st, and it kind of highlights all the things that are wrong with Peloton as of August 31st. So they still have that product recall. There is about 125,000 of their Tread Plus machines are still being affected, which is their premium, their flagship machines, which are selling for, I believe, like something $4,295. However, they have resumed selling their lower end version of the treadmill, which is the $2,495 one. And you can find this article. I won't be going through all of it, but one of the analysts here at the BMO has cut Peloton's price target down to $45. Now, if I zoom out and we take a look at Peloton here, $45 puts us right over here. So that is a long ways down, right? So from current price, it'd be a pullback of additional 54%. So that is why I'm being a little bit more skeptical and a little bit more cautious with Peloton here. Now going back to this article, we can also see that we have an ongoing investigation happening, which is something that is not good. So this has been going on behalf of the purchase of its securities between September 11th, 2020 and May 5th, 2020. It is alleged that the company made several materially false and misleading statements and that the safety was not a priority for Peloton. So that's a big one. They also have weak financials here. So as of their last earnings, their revenue declined by 25.8%. They have a gross profits declined 12.2% year over year due to the primary recall costs and all that. The net loss came in at $313.2 million compared to $89.10 million in the net income in the year ago period. Also, its loss per share came at $1.05 compared to a earnings per share of 27 cents in the period year quarter. So as you can see, lots of negativity, lots of black cloud hanging over Peloton, and this is why I'm waiting to see what happens down at this $80. So going over to our market beat here. So somehow all these analysts are still super bullish and telling you to buy Peloton here. Their price target is 136.56%. Again, this could be maybe like a long-term price target, but in the short term, I think there is more pain ahead as highlighted before. Going over to our insiders, see what these guys are doing here. As you can see in Q3, there's been about $47 million sold worth of Peloton shares. So you got CAO selling here, you got COO selling, you got the directors selling, then lots of insiders. So again, seems like everybody's selling out somewhere around that $102, $109. So they seem to think that that's the peak here. And let's see what the institutions are doing. So it looks like in Q3 we had about 2.8 billion bought and 687 million sold. So a little bit more bought than sold. So that's a little bit more encouraging. And let's see what the short interest is. So as of August 13th, we are about 7.45% short. So there's about 7.45% of short interest out there, which isn't out of the normal. It's still within the reasonable range here. So once we get to 20%, like I highlighted, this is where you can start to expect that short squeeze or something like that. Traders start to take notice of it, but 7.45%, nothing crazy. So a couple of options here. Like I said, I am not looking to go long, possibly short. And let's see, if we go to November, give yourself a couple of months here. I'd be looking to maybe get into this like Delta 62 or Delta 74, but that's pretty expensive. For me, that seems a lot of risk here. So for example, if you buy this Delta 62, it's going to cost you $1,732. And like I highlighted, so I'm expecting it to maybe bottom here around the $80. So if we go down to $80, you could be expecting to make about $1,200 on this trade, you know, if it goes in your favor. But if it starts just going sideways and the theta decay and everything comes into effect, then again, just seems a little bit too risky for me. Instead, what I'll be looking to do is, if we do get that bounce up to the 200-day moving average, I'll try to do a credit spread trade on this and sell the top here, probably just above the 200-day moving average. So I think that is it. These are kind of these big concerns that I have with Peloton, and that's why I'm staying away for the long term here. I'll again revisit Peloton once we get down to the $80 and see how it's behaving then. So as of right now, I don't have any shares or any options in Peloton, but if you do, please leave me a comment below and let me know what your price target is. Otherwise, thank you so much, and we'll see you in another video. Ciao, ciao.